So today I want to talk to Egertonians on redundancy because there is a memo which has been issued by the management addressing up to all staff of Egerton University concerning redundancy that is to take place early January next year. And I also want to discuss on how the staff of Egerton University might have contributed on a larger part on this redundancy notice, and also on how this redundancy was inevitable. So for you who is joining me for the first time, thank you so much and karibu sana, and please don't forget to subscribe. And for those who are returning viewers, thank you and God bless you so much. My name is Wandela Steve. The management has issued a notice to declare staff redundant, addressing all staff of Egerton University, indicating that it has been difficult, to sustain them due to financial issues that the university has been undergoing. We all know the university has been struggling with debts, putting the management in the limelight for failing to pay staff their salary of 100%. In fact, this has led to sentencing of Egerton University Vice Chancellor Professor Isaac Kibwage and other 8 members of the council. They were sentenced for failing to honor the court order, which was issued in May in an accrual court, wanting them to pay the staff their 100% salary. Of course, they failed to do so, and the court failed them in contempt of court, and they were sentenced for 30 days or each pay a fine of 100,000 Kenyan shillings. So why do I think that as the staff of Egerton University, they contributed largely on this memo that the management has issued? Earlier this year on February, when the strike was at the peak, the ambassador Nabukwesi, the then PS permanent secretary for university education and research, visited the institution, and he said that the strikes that was going on then was putting the university on a wrong limelight, and this could scare away donors who are people that donate some finances to the university. And he urged the striking staff to go slow on the strike that was taking place that time, and so that at least they may give dialogue a chance. And over the same thing, on 42nd graduation, when Egerton was having their 42nd graduation ceremony, which was graced by the then Cabinet Secretary for Education, Professor Magoha. Professor Magoha told the Vice Chancellor that the government is like God. It only supports those who support themselves. And this one, he was talking in prior, indicating that the management should structure the staff so that it may have the staff that it can sustain. There are a lot of references that we can make on the government officials, or those who have spoken over the Egerton issues, on how they have been opinioning the Egerton management restructure their staff so that they can have a number of staff that they can manage due to the wage bill that has been high. Egerton University is a public institution which is managed and run by the government funding, and it is fully owned by the government. I have heard Egerton University staff claiming that it is due to poor management that has led the university to where it is financially, and it might be true, as depending on which angle are you talking these words from or claiming these claims from. But these only can be substantiated in the court of law with the evidences to prove that actually it's the management sabotaging the Egerton University crisis. But the VC has severally addressed staff of Egerton University, and he has called 2 addresses which he has addressed the staff. And in his addresses, the professor has categorically stated that he inherited a university which was financially struggling, and it was financially struggling due to historical problems of finance that needed to be arrested to bring the university to its course. And professor highlighted some of his blueprints that he thought that he can put into the measures so that at least he can sustain it, or he can bring the university to its peak. In the helm of the strikes that were going on some times back, a professor told the staff that were striking then that he doesn't have money. And he even said that he had invited the union leaders to check the university accounts, and that there were no money in the accounts. And the union leaders haven't proved that they checked the accounts and that there are no money. And you see, them what they are just saying is that there is money. It is just that the university has refused to pay. And as the staff of Egerton University, they have no one to believe, because if the manager of the university is saying that there is no money, and that he has even invited the union leaders to check the accounts, and the union leaders are telling the staff that there is money and these people have refused to pay. So who are these guys to believe? Are they to believe the university manager, or are they to believe who they are, or are they to believe their representative, who are the union leaders? So in fact, it could have been better if the union leaders could have come out and say that actually they have checked their accounts and there's money. Because what they're just saying, that they are not saying if they checked the account, they're just saying that there is money. But the university is saying that actually there's no money. So guys, why do I believe that as the staff, they they pushed so much for this memo to come out? As I have referenced earlier, Egerton University is a government institution owned and run by the government. And the government officials have given the Vice Chancellor, Professor Kibwage, a go-ahead to retrench or to restructure staff that it can sustain. But on the other hand, Professor has always been saying that because the Bible also talks of coming together and reasoning together. So Professor has been telling staff, okay, there's no money. The government has not released the fund. But the little that we have, let's share this little that we have as we look for another avenues to make sure that there is money. But despite his plea, the staff continued pushing him and dragging him to the corridors of justice, discrediting him, as a poor and arrogant manager, to the extent of him being, sentenced in the court of law. So imagine these are the people you want to discuss with them, you want to talk to them, you have been so open to them, and you want to reason together with them. But they are the same people who are dragging you here and there, tarnishing your name, taking you to court, serving you a lot of court orders. So if it were you, what could you do? Last year when this issue of retrenchment came out, people are saying, oh, the vice chancellor cannot retrench people because he doesn't have money to send to pay their send-off package. And I was reminding them of Kisii University. Kisii University retrenched a good number of staff some years back. And in fact, these people, they were given letters. It is allegedly that they were given letters from the entrance. You come to the entrance, you are given your letter of retrenchment, you go home. And do you know, up to this time as we speak, these people, or they are still following their money. So if the vice chancellor wants to retrench or to declare people redundant, it is not always about do I have money. It's about, okay, this is your letter, go home and wait for your money as we process your money. And it doesn't matter, the government or the institution can take even 10 years processing your money as long as you are home. So Vice Chancellor, together with the management, they sat down and said, okay, these are the people that we are trying to protect. These are the people that we think we can talk to. We can share the little that we have as we look for another avenues. But they're the same people who are pushing us. So what do we do? And now they came up with the memo. Another major reason to why this redundant notice was inevitable is because of low funding by the government. The government have been underfunding public universities, and Egerton has faced a major blow on this. The VC has said not once, not twice, that the university coffer is free and that there is no money. And he said that something that is ailing this is due to revenue mainstreaming. when the university stopped self-sponsored students in 2017, and also the government reduced its capitation by 30%. It should be understood that in the year 2018-2019, there was this 3,822 students who were not funded by the government, and this was due to the allegation that there was miscommunication between the university management and the Kenya University and College Central Placement Services. And now, if there was miscommunication, you come to wonder who is to be blamed over this? Because this resulted to the university loss of almost or over to 1 billion shillings. The second factor is poor historical management of the university. I know this is an issue that, or these are factors that people don't like discussing it, but the fact remains that it is historically that Egerton University has been poorly managed. Last year, an audit report on the university exposed an organization that routinely, and underline the word routinely, flouts regulations, resulting to the deep financial crisis of the institution arising from fraudulent and mismanagement. This was a report by the Auditor General last year. According to the report, the university might have lost over 7.2 million for irregular allowing the change of mode of study of some students from self-sponsored to regular programs. Also, the university, it was put on the spot on purchasing of ICT equipments worth a lot of millions of money without adequate budgetary provisions. Also, the university has been on the spot over the construction of the ultra-modern gate, which has raised eyebrows, and that the gate costed a whopping 70 million shillings, and people say that that was too much for that gate. And also, the university has been accused of construction of a fence, an electric fence, which has never been used. And so far, when you go to look for the fence, there's no fence. The wires and post has fallen. Others has been stolen by the neighboring community. And this fence, according to the union leaders, it costed the university a lot of money, which has not been of any benefit to the university. Also, staff have been accusing the Vice Chancellor of poor management of the university in terms of soliciting money from the government. They have been saying that he is the person in the helm of the management, and he's the only person who can access the government. So people have been asking, or staff have been asking, why can't you, as the manager of the institution, because you say that the institution is for the government, which is very true, and you say that the university have money, but people are asking, what we need is not your money, it's the government money that we need. Why can't you go out there and solicit for this money so that the owner of the university can come and pay its employees? Also, the management has been accused of poor management in terms of utilization of the Egerton University assets. Egerton University, it is understandably that it has got a large of land which is not utilized. And we also have, the university also have the sanatorium, which used to serve the community, and it could generate some income. But so far, so good. The sanatorium has ever died, and there are no medicine. People are not floating to the sanatorium as they used to. When the Vice Chancellor called the first address, the staff came up with suggestions that they gave to the management. In fact, others suggested that he should, revamp the sanatorium, that is Egerton University medical department, which used to serve the community. And also, they suggested that the university to put up an ultra-modern pharmacy at the gate so that people can buy drugs from there. It is so bad that you go to the sanatorium of Egerton University, and then the medics there subscribe medicines for you, which can cost even a lot of money, like 20,000 shillings. And now you have to go to town to buy this medicine. What if the university can put up a pharmacy that people can buy those, instead of taking 20,000 to the to town, now you can still buy, you get treated in the sanatorium of the university, and then you buy drugs from the pharmacy of the university. Then Egerton can generate some money from that transaction. Also, concerning the land, about the underutilized land, in fact, some staff have suggested that the management should visit more university to see how they're utilizing their land and making some income from that utilization of the unused land. It is understandably believed that the government only releases 60% of the capitation, and the other 40%, it is the university from its internal generating units that has to, consolidate and get the 40% to add on so that it becomes 100%. And staff were of the opinion that if the university can utilize all the adequate facilities that the university have, we can get this 40% and even much more, so that we can put our university to the helmlight instead of depending on the government. In fact, they were of the opinion that if these things can be done, we can even start donating some money to the government. So people, just in a nutshell, what I'm just saying is that the redundancy memo is out, and people are beginning to be laid off starting January. And this thing we could not have avoided it, either by our own or by somebody else making. Since the memo states that the process will cut across all the departments, then everyone has to worry, because you don't know if or whether you will fall a victim of the process. Then this should quickly take us back to 2020, when the coronavirus hit the nation and we had the lockdown and what have you. People came up with business opportunities, and in fact, some of them are still using the same opportunity that is keeping them up today. Some people lost their jobs and they're surviving up today from the innovations and opportunities that they started earlier doing. So this can only mean that we can look for as many opportunities as possible, so that if in case by bad luck the sword cuts across you, you don't need to worry, because life must continue. Just take yourself from where it will be and move on, because people lose jobs, lose their salaries, but life must continue. So as we look upon and we wait for that day, in case the process will spare you, then that's well and good, so thank God. But in case the sword will cut across you, I don't need to worry. Life must continue. You just come up with opportunities, start a business somewhere, or start any venture, or start farming, and life will go on and things will run smooth like nothing ever happened. Otherwise, thank you so much for following me through, and as we look upon the new year 2023, mine is only to wish you a prosperous, happy new year, so that the things that we did not manage to do them this year, God may help us to do them next year, and at least to finish them. Otherwise, God bless you, and thank you for watching.